So today I'm going to talk about the hierarchy of punctuation. The way the hierarchy of punctuation works is a little backwards from how we would think. It starts with the top of the list first. So at the very top are the final punctuation marks, such as periods, exclamation points, and question marks. Those are at the top of the list because they separate whole sentences and they give the boundaries for that. Next on the list are, on the next sub-level, are dashes, colons, and parentheses. They do not separate whole sentences. They rather separate the boundaries of independent and dependent clauses, words, and phrases. After that sublevel comes the semicolon all by itself. The semicolon is able to define clause boundaries, and separate items in a coordinate list. As we go down the hierarchy, the roles of the punctuation marks become more narrow. And the very bottom of the hierarchy are commas. So commas are used to define boundaries of words, phrases, and dependent clauses. So, on the wiki, I have included a hierarchy of sorts of what I just discussed in visual format. So, moving on to the example questions. I'm going to go ahead and do example number 1. So the first question of example number 1 is, the cost of repairs to the nation's public transportation system facilities is an expenditure that cannot be delayed much longer if the system is to survive. Roads, bridges, and railroads are all in need of repair. The way that I corrected that sentence was to add a comma between survive and roads, and that was how I read it. It just gives you more of a pause so you can think about it more. Without the comma, it's just kind of a little bit of a run-on. The second sentence originally was, to many people, the mushroom is a lowly fungus. It has little food value. To other people, it is a gourmet delight. So that sentence is a little choppy and short, so I elongated it by removing the period between fungus and it. So it should sound like, to many people, the mushroom is a lowly fungus. It has little food value. To other people, it is a gourmet delight. The third sentence. The paper nautilus octopus is a rare marine animal. It normally lives in the coastal waters of Japan. It was found recently in squid nets off Santa Catalina in California. So for the third sentence, that sentence wasn't necessarily terrible, but it could use a little work. So I instead added a semicolon after the word Japan, and it then became, the paper nautilus octopus is a rare marine animal and normally lives in the coastal waters of Japan. It was found recently in the squid nets off Santa Catalina in California. And for the last sentence, it originally was, the ivory-billed woodpecker is one of North America's rarest birds. It is North America's largest woodpecker. There have been documented sightings of this woodpecker in recent years. In order to make the sentence flow a little more, I got rid of the period between woodpecker and there, and I changed it to a semicolon. So now it reads, ivory-billed woodpecker is one of North America's rarest birds. It is North America's largest woodpecker. There have been documented sightings of the woodpecker in recent years. So, while most of the grammar changes that I made here were slight, they make a difference. There's a difference between a period and a comma and a question mark. It's all about the pause that each mark forces the reader to make. Periods force the reader to pause much longer in their head than a colon or a comma would. Than a semicolon or a comma would. So it's all about using these grammatical skills to your advantage in order to produce the kind of writing that you want your readers to hear. That's it. Bye.